Hello everyone. In this video we will see what scientists paid the ultimate price for their work. Welcome to the question answer channel. Today's answers will be presented by Daniel Kaplan, Sean Kernan, Bendrate and Jim Morita. We'll start with the first answer by Daniel Kaplan.
Karen Vetahan, I agree that many of these other deaths are tragic. Marie Curie, as an example, is particularly so. Still, that was back when our knowledge of science was far less than it is now. I mean, we didn't get radiation. She was truly in unknown waters. Karen Vetahan was the first female chemistry professor at Dartmouth College. Not back before WW2. We're talking about the 1990s. Her research on the dangers of heavy metals, with her knowledge and experience and with the financial backing and equipment of Dartmouth, should have made her safe. Unfortunately, 2 drops of dimethylmercury on the back of her lab gloves were enough to kill her. Why dimethylmercury? At the time, it was used for nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. At the time, dimethylmercury wasn't known for its ability to very quickly pass through latex gloves. She cleaned her lab before taking her gloves off. Again, as far as we know, this was standard procedure at the time. I'm not a scientist. I know that mercury is a heavy metal, but the kind you find in old thermometers isn't all that dangerous. I've seen pics of people playing with it. You can simply wash your hands and probably be fine. Methylmercury is nasty stuff you might get from eating too much fish, like with Minamata disease. Dimethylmercury is a different animal. It is one of the most dangerous chemicals out there. Dimethylmercury apparently doesn't kill you right away. The 2 drops passed through her glove and were in contact with her skin for seconds. It was enough. Unlike a lot of other substances, dimethylmercury is capable of passing through the blood-brain barrier with tragic results. 3 months after the incident, she had stomach problems. 5 months after the incident, she began having significant neurological problems like stumbling and speech slurring. No matter what the doctors did, and they tried everything they could, she wound up falling into a persistent vegetative state. She eventually died 10 months after the exposure. Dimethylmercury stripped a vibrant, healthy woman of everything, even robbing her of her mind. That's part of why scientists will use just about any other substance. It's just too dangerous. Incidentally, I first ran across this when Franklin Vo wrote about it, I think. I've run across the story several times since.
The next answer is from Sean Kernan.
Dr. Antonio E. Gasmones. He was famous for having innovated the frontal lobotomy. He often did his research and tested procedures on mentally ill patients, extreme cases. He won a Nobel Prize for his research. But later, one of his patients, who had a severe case of schizophrenia. Access this answer and support the author as a Quora Plus subscriber. Access all answers reserved by Sean Kernan. For Quora Plus subscribers, access exclusive answers from thousands more participating creators in Quora Plus. Browse ad-free and support creators. Start free trial. Learn more.
The next answer is from Bendrate.
Finding the right talent overseas can be hard. After putting in all that work, you want onboarding to be as easy as possible. Fortunately, there are a couple of options to easily onboard remote talent. One way is to hire your foreign talent as contractors. While the contractor route allows you to quickly get your talent up and running, it's not entirely risk-free. Every country has different rules for who qualifies as a contractor rather than a regular employee. Consequences for misclassifying talent can range from fines and legal fees to business interruptions, reputational damage, and outright bans from some countries. Companies that want speed without sacrificing peace of mind work with a global employer of record, EOR. A global EOR partner becomes the full legal employer of your talent, ensuring compliant onboarding, payroll, benefits, and more, while you manage your talent's day-to-day responsibilities.
What do you think? We will continue with Jim Morita's answer.
Meet Dr. Carl P. Schmidt. I chose a pencil sketch of him rather than a photograph because he was famous for labeling his specimen bottles at Chicago's Field Museum with a number 2 pencil. So, pencil just seemed right. In the early years of the 20th century, Dr. Schmidt was the top herpetologist, reptile scientist, in all the world. From 1941 to 1955, he ran the zoology section at Field Museum. He was still employed by the museum when this incident took place. On September 25, 1957, Marlon Perkins, the director of Chicago's Lincoln Park Zoo, called Dr. Schmidt with a rather usual for Dr. Schmidt request, "We have a new snake here and we don't know what it is. Could you identify it for us?" Of course he could, so the zoo sent it over. Marlon Perkins was a very good snake man himself, so this snake must have been really exotic. Yes, this is the same Marlon Perkins who created the famous nature television show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. It was a young boomslang snake. Native to Africa, the boomslang is a very pretty green and black beast, extremely green. They knew it was venomous, but at the time they believed snakes with the fangs in the backs of their mouths like this one aren't harmful to humans. While handling the snake, it bit him on one of his thumbs. So, what does this crazy bastard do? Instead of going to the doctor like a normal person would do, he got a notebook and started documenting how he was feeling. One of his notes read as follows. 9 p.m. to 12:20 a.m. slept well. No blood in urine before going to sleep, but very small amount of urine. Urination at 12:20 a.m. mostly blood, but small in amount. Mouth had bled steadily as shown by dried blood at both angles of mouth. He died before 3 p.m. the next day. At his autopsy they discovered he was bleeding from everywhere, lungs, out his eyes, kidneys, intestines and so on. Today we know the boomslang to be one of the most lethal snakes in the world. Its venom is stronger than the venom of a king cobra.
This is the end of the video. I hope you have more answers. You can now subscribe if you like the video more. Remember to also leave a like, it helps for the referencing on YouTube. We are coming to the end of this video. You can continue the debate on this question in the comments with the community. See you soon.